Good evening. Okay, Nikki, I hope you and your mum are well. IX, I hope you're well, mate. I'll put you as a mod. Can you all hear me all right? I hope you're well, Miss Emma. I thought I heard the other day that you was poorly. I hope you're feeling better. What have we got in? I've just tripped over the dog and spilt drink everywhere. Can't write it. Bad boy. Good evening. Hope you're well. Is it you who's been doing the merch for people? Bad boy. I'm sure I heard somebody on notice say it was you who was sorted him his merch out that he's got, his hoodies. Evening, Lou. Sorry, guys, I'm not being ignorant. I'm just trying to do the washing up. Never stops. It never stops. Work all day and then housework when I get home. I hope you've been getting Fly doing some housework, Lou. I wasn't meant to tell you this, but he said to me the other day that it's a woman's job and he don't have to do it. Yeah, he said that on the phone earlier, Lou. He says because you've been off work as well, he's been making you do everything. He was laughing about it as well. I won't have that. Not really been a lot been going on YouTube, has there? See, Sparky was live earlier. Good evening, Mick. How are you, mate? I'm not being ignorant, guys. I'm just trying to do this washing up while I'm doing this live quickly before the wife gets home. So she ain't got to do it. She's been at work. How's everyone day been? You been at work, mate? Lou, this dance competition, what school is it at? Do you know? Because the school that my two oldest go to, which is right next door to where we live, literally, they've got a dance team, and I was wondering if it was there. It might even be next door. Evening Nutter, the one and only. Fly to the moon. Right, so we've got 8 people in. I've got 3 devices on. I've got Bad Boy, Lou's on 1. Fly's on about 3, so that's about right. Evening, Sparky, mate. Nice one for that community post earlier. I appreciate that. I did get a few subs off that, actually. I was in your chat earlier. You get the numbers in you, mate. Was it 150 nearly? I don't think I could act that many people in my chat, you know. I really don't. I think it'd spin my head out of it. And as I've always said, with more people comes more drama. And I've tried to make this channel drama free, and to be fair, it has been so far. It's been nice and chilled. Don't really get big numbers, but that's the way I like it. Mr. England! Do you know, I'll do any housework, any house chores, but the one thing I hate doing is washing up. For some reason, I can't stand it. You've done that when you've got 2 lazy teenagers who don't do a fucking thing. Nutter, I'm going to be in your chat in the morning on the way to work. I want to have a look at one of these hoodies that you've got. That's all right, because I missed them this morning if you showed them. A bit of a rush this morning at work. My mate picks me up for 7:30 to get to work for 8 o'clock. My alarm didn't go off till 7:15. So it was a quick wash, teeth brush, clothes on and out the door. I was falling asleep at my machine for the first half hour. I was that tired. I don't know what's been wrong with me. I'm sleeping so much. I'm going to bed at a decent time. Yet I'm always tired. I'm always yawning. My wife seems to think I need to go and get a diabetes check. For some reason. Maybe I should. Anybody in the chat got diabetes? Evening, Joanne. Evening, Andy. God bless you all. I'm nearly done this washing up, guys, and then I'll go and sit in the front room. I'll put the link out. You know, all this madness of working and kids, and you know, I won't have it any other way. I really won't. It keeps me on my toes. Big up, Daz. I missed you, mate. Your lives have been flying, buddy, haven't they? I think people are starting to see the bigger picture and realising that they can come in certain chats and they're not going to be fucking ridiculed for it. Which is all a load of bullshit anyway. Imagine falling out with somebody because somebody's seen you in a chat of somebody they don't like. I just laugh. Hey, Daz, next time you go to, is it your brother? Get another video with the dogs, because I bet they've grown massive now, haven't they? I bet they're getting on. thing, really be. Do you know, you would not believe this, right? I'm going to show you something, right? When I say that bear is at my feet constantly, yeah, I mean constantly, right? Look at this. But I've just done the washing up, but look where he is. Right behind me on the floor, look. He was literally lying with his back against my legs a minute ago. You don't leave me alone, literally. Yes, Alter. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Don't know what it is with him, you know. Don't know whether he's got like is it called attachment anxiety? What, he just everywhere I go, he goes. It's like a third leg. He's bigger. How you been, Alter? What do we all reckon in this final then? United or Newcastle? I won't put it past Newcastle, you know, personally. I'm going to show you something, right? Let me just turn my camera around. There's me, the wife, a 7-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 15-year-old, yeah? And this cupboard is like this every week. You telling me this is taking the piss? That's 1 week's worth of food. I think she goes overboard personally, but she doesn't listen. PP! You was right near mine yesterday, weren't you, mate? Did you go Knox, was it? I think I heard you was going, or saw on your live. Ice chain, kicking the door, waving the 4th floor. I slipped on the floor and broke his jaw. Oh. Inside. Ice, baby. Give me 1 minute, I'll put the link out. Was making a cup of tea. How's the wife, PP? And the boys, mate, out the well. We're getting into spring soon. You need to come up anyway, and we'll go for this fucking Park Lake walk that I was on about. Show you where these big carp are. As soon as it starts to warm up a bit. I've had my eye on this little lake, PP. Yeah, it's about a 10-minute walk from my house. It's more of a pond, but it was stocked 2 years ago with about 250 crucians. And every now and again, I go down and chuck a load of sweet corn and hemp and whatever else in, just to fatten them up a bit. But it's been 2 years, so I was thinking this weekend, because it's an all-round year lake, I might take the 2 youngest down. You know what they're like when you get a cruiser on the end of the line. They fight like out, don't they? Good sport. Yeah, spot on, PP. For me, it's been over a year now. Oh, oh, oh. Right, fucking hell. Ah, that's something I can talk about, John. Good question, that, buddy. General, how many mil meth did you stop on, and how many weeks did it take? Right. Was it last January? I'm a year into it now, aren't I? So I was on 70 mil when I decided to stop, and I gave myself a full year to reduce myself. And at first I started with 5 milligrams a week until I got down to about 40 mil, and then I stabilised on that for a couple of months. I really didn't feel the effects of cutting down that much. To be fair, you think like 5 mil off 70 mil, you'd think you'd feel it, but no, I didn't feel nothing. Got all the way down to 5 mil, and then I started reducing it by 1 mil until I got down to 1 milligram. And by that time, it wasn't even a drip on the tongue. It was all in my head. And then yeah, I just stopped off that 1 mil. And for the first 2 weeks, it was hell. I'm not gonna lie, but I put that down to being on it for 17 years. To be honest, if I'd been on it for a lot shorter period of time than that, then I don't think that 2 weeks would have been as bad. But yeah, it was over Christmas as well. I had a 2 week period over Christmas, and that was off from work, and yeah, I did it in them 2 weeks. Did it in them 2 weeks. There was many days I was crying into my wife's arms. Believe me, there was, saying that I couldn't do it and not seeing no way out of it. But now I'm fucking what? Nearly 14 months now. 14 months into it. It don't even cross my mind anymore. Not one bit. Just makes me think, what was all the fuss about? Why was I scared to get off it for so long? All them years of being stuck in a rut and just being comfy with how things were. It's weird. I was speaking to somebody the other day about it, and he's been on it for 15 years. And we had a conversation. It was like the key workers, the drug workers of the places that you go to, they don't really want to get you off it. They don't. Many times before I decided to stop, I'd go in and I'd ask for for it to be reduced, and there wouldn't even be no questions why. It was like it was just, yeah, they just give you what you wanted, basically. At one point, I was on 100 milligrams, 100 milligrams a day, which probably 5 milligrams to somebody who don't take that shit, it would kill them. They'd overdose at the least. Then when I look back, I just think of all the years that I've wasted. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I was a functioning addict. I was going to work and providing for my wife and my kids still while I was doing all this, but it was just like a cover up. The methadone was just like a cover up for the addiction, if that makes sense. And a lot of people have said to me, "Well, you wouldn't look at you and think you've been an addict," or, well, I'm not. I say I've been an addict. I still am an addict. I'm a recovering addict. I'll always be an addict. I'll admit that. It is, John. In this country, mate, methadone is a fucking big business. Big business. And it's one of them, in my opinion, if the more people they get off it and the quicker they do it, the less money these people are going to make. Yeah, the clinics are good to go to for somebody to speak to, but I asked myself many times, why did they have me on it for so long? Like 17 years on methadone. It just, I was speaking to somebody in a chat the other day, and like it was if they thought I was lying about how long I'd been on it. They couldn't actually digest what I was saying was true. 17 years. Are you sure it was that long? Yeah, it was. It was. A lot of willpower, mate. But all that did, mate, getting through that is just showed me how strong I actually am, mate. Do you know what I mean? And if I put my mind to it, I can achieve anything. 12 million a year. Wow. Jay, it's something that I'd love to look into all this, you know, but I'm past it, aren't I, to be fair? I'd love to be a drug worker, but it's too late now. I'd love to be a drug worker and to just give like, what's the word? Because a lot of these drug workers, they've just come straight out of uni or they're straight out of college. They're only young. They've got no life experience, never been on drugs themselves. And like for me, it was always more important to speak to somebody who'd been in the same position and got come out the other side, if that makes sense, rather than somebody who has just come out of university and it's just a job to them. I'd love to do that, be a drug worker, but I've left it a bit too late now. I could, Daz, yeah, I could, mate. And to be fair, it's something I'd enjoy doing because it's something that I'm quite passionate about, and I know it's been a big part of my life for so long. I've seen how these drug clinics work, and I could have a lot to say on it, but it is a long process, mate. Once you've been an addict for that long, you've been on a certain medication for that long, it's not as easy as just, right, I'm stopping. It just does not work like that. I think I had my advantage while I was reducing myself was I was working. So I love my job. I love my job to bits. While I'm at work, I just get my headphones on and I just plod away doing my job. Night, Andy. Take care, buddy. Evening, PV. Sorry, guys. I was fucking blobbering on then. Good to see you in here, John, anyway. Cheers for popping in. Yeah, that was it. I had the advantage of working, so my mind was always occupied. I didn't have chance to dwell on the reduction or think about it. All it makes me think now, looking back, is why I didn't do it sooner. That's all it makes me think, is why did you not do it sooner? Probably nothing would have been the same because it wouldn't have changed the way I was because I was working. It's not as if I wasn't working and I was just being a fucking bum. And I think that's why I got comfy on it, because I wasn't getting withdrawals or anything like that. And it was just, yeah, you get comfy in it. They call them the green handcuffs in Scotland, if I'm not wrong. I've never heard that before I come on YouTube, you know. Somebody said it to me in a chat the other day, and it's so true. Once you're on that shit, it's so hard to get off it. Subutex. Wow, John, fucking hell, that's dangerous stuff, that. Do you know, while I was on the methadone, there was a few times where I got right down ready to come off, and they put me on Subutex as like the next stage of coming off opiates. Worst mistake ever. It's because as soon as I heard that you could snort them, I was all over it like a fucking rash. I was snorting probably 24 mil a day, 8 mils a day. Without the wife knowing this was as well, still working out my head every day. I was a mess. This is what I mean. My methadone and my recovery over that 17 years, it was up and down, up and down, up and down. It wasn't just on one dosage all the way through it. Yeah, it does. I know it does. It's a shame. It's a shame. Because in my eyes, you can do a job like that and not have no experience, but surely it would mean more. It would mean something more to the actual addict if they were speaking to somebody who's been through it and recovered through it and can actually speak of like personal things that have happened and give proper advice, if that makes sense. Let's put the link out, see if anyone wants to jump on. Subutex is bad, mate. It's bad. It's rife in jails as well. In jail, that's one of the main drugs, subbies and spice. I could talk on a load of things, shit that I've seen in jail, and I say it's all to come, but it's just fucking finding the time to get on here and do it. Because most days I get back from work, then the wife's at work most days, so I've got the kids as soon as I come through the door. There we go. Channels like yours with knowledge helps people, mate. Believe me, whether they admit it or not, people can relate. Yeah, nice one, mate. I've been speaking to a couple of people who are in recovery themselves off YouTube, and I'm hoping to get them on a live one day on a one-to-one. Just talk about certain stuff, and because I know there is a lot of either addicts or ex-addicts on here. There is. They may not fucking admit it, but I know there is a lot of people who could take a lot of advice from people like myself who have been there and done it. I've had my neighbour moaning again about the dryer pipe being out the kitchen window. What a fucking arsehole. Moaning and putting complaints in that we have the dryer pipe out of our window when we dry our washing in the kitchen because it's a vented dryer. Saying that he can't go in his garden because the stuff that comes off the dryer is messing with his sinuses. Oh, fucking hell, Ice. You've caught me at a bad minute there, mate. I don't know if a day with an haircut like this. Hang on, let me just turn my camera around. I've got a cap on anyway. I'm pleased you're here, Ice, and you've listened to a bit of what I've said. And hopefully that'll help you with your drawing a bit, buddy. Whoever's backstage, 1 minute. Get me good side. That's all you're getting.
Yo.
Good evening, mate. How are you?
Good evening. Just a quick one to Ice, right? Ice, if you're going to do a draw to Dave, right, you must get that green tracksuit top because that's iconic for Dave. He never has it off. He sleeps in it.
I just spat my tea out.
That, like, Dave, that is my one memory of you from day one, like that green tracksuit top, mate. You have had some wear out of that, lad. Haven't
Mate,
you?
do you know something? This is a vintage late 80s, this, you know.
I know, how come it's still in one piece?
Because I look after my stuff.
Do you wear that for work as well?
No. Mate,
Oh, it's the best. Look at that.
It's my vintage Fred Perry.
It's quality in it. That's the image I always remember of you, like when you used to go on the steak pit. It used to look like you were in like a sauna or something with a big joint with your green top on telling bad jokes. You know what I'm on about.
I can remember I told a joke on there one day, you know, not one person laughed. All I heard was tumbleweeds going past.
What, just one? I think that's what nailed it. Like one day, Dave, I can even remember the joke, mate. Was it something to do with the pineapple?
Yeah.
Can you remember it? The jungle or something?
Yeah, the brothers.
Terrible,
yeah, I'm not even going to say it again, mate.
Yeah, it was terrible, mate. Because you don't get that long on Pablo's anyway, do you, without somebody chipping in? You don't get long enough to tell a joke like that, mate.
I think...
There's the star. Is anyone else watching this on a laptop? And if they are, is their chat all different colours? Like everyone's name is a different colour just over the last few days. Weird. There's loads of weird stuff going on in there.
Sit. Sit down. Sit. Take my fingers off.
We were just on about earlier, weren't we, Dave, about that we've been to the vets this afternoon with our dog for just to get her jabs, right?
Yeah.
And I told Dave the story, but what was heartbreaking is we went in and there was a couple of other dogs in there, but somebody came out of the room, two fellas, and they came out just with a lead. So we knew what that meant straight away, you know what I mean? And to top it off, not only had they just had to get the dog put down, but then they had to pay about £200 odd. You know what I mean? Now I said to you, did I, Dave? That's wrong, that, like.
Proper wrong, mate. Nice one for coming in, John. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I love it when people, do you know something, Flat? I love it when people ask me questions like that.
Oh, yeah. Good of John to come in there, man.
It's something I can actually speak about. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. When I can help people, it makes me feel good, mate.
You know what's mad though, Dave? Right? I haven't had close friends with addictions or anything, and but I can listen to it all day, but I don't know anything about it, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like heavy drugs like that, like, and for someone being on for that long, you know, on methadone and that. I mean, when is it up to you? Is it up to you to come off methadone? Could you be on it like all your life or something?
No, you're not meant to be, mate. It's meant to be like just a short-term thing. Do you know what I mean? They're meant to reduce you, but as I said, I had ups and. Hang on, 1 minute, mate. The dog's just gone upstairs. Yeah. Give me 1 second, Flash. Sorry.
So our dog isn't allowed upstairs. Like, so as soon as the door opens, she sees a gap. That's it. She's off up them stairs like a whippet. Just goes crazy. And you have to try and catch it. Yeah, I would definitely put that green top in. I don't know what colour green it is, whether you can actually imitate that colour green. I've never seen that shade before. Anyone who was in that quiz this afternoon? Hope you enjoyed it.
Sorry, mate.
Sorry, bro.
I don't let him go up the stairs because of his back legs.
Oh, I was just saying there, Dave, ours isn't allowed upstairs, but as soon as she sees a gap in the door, that's it, she's off, right? And she just goes crazy, like running about all the bedrooms, everything, just grabbing, jumps over the beds, you have to chase around.
Do you know, he's quite good, mate. If we've got a stair gate on the bottom, but it's not attached, we just lean it up against the stairs kind of thing. And normally, if it's off, he don't go up. But my youngest daughter, at the minute, she's got this thing about having the dog on the bed and like calling him upstairs when no one's looking.
Mm.
That's the first thing to go on German Shepherds is the back legs.
Yeah.
So
it was for a few years before that, surely. She's only young. He's only young, isn't
he? Luminous yellow.
Yeah, what colour would you say that was, Dave? What colour? I'll tell you what the colour is. Look on John Smith's on your highlighted comment on your screen. It's like that, isn't it? The colour behind John Smith's comment.
Bit darker than that.
It's like a apple or I don't know.
I've got a colander that's the same colour.
I'm going to bring you a present anyway when I see you. When we come to Lincoln, I'm going to bring you a present. I think you know what it is. Whether it fits you or not, I don't know, but it's yours.
I've got a colander that's the same colour. How's that go?
Can't really see. Oh yeah, perfect there. Suits you as well. Have you? Do you dry them pots as well, like Dave, or you just let them dry themselves, like drip dry?
What are you on about?
Don't you dry them?
Dry what?
Your pots.
What pots?
That you've just washed.
No.
Lazy bastard.
Are you for real?
You rinse them though in red. Do you have the hot water running while you're washing them and rinse all the soapy water off of that?
No, I rinse them, but I don't keep the tap on, mate. I turn it off in between rinses.
Nah, you just have it like a low, like, so there's a steady little stream and you rinse it as you come out with red hot water and then they dry in about 5 minutes.
I hate washing up, mate, especially in a house of 6. Because my 2 oldest have got this thing for, they'll have a bowl of cereal or they'll have a drink and then they'll put the bowl or the cup or whatever on the floor near the bed and then they'll end up kicking the fucking bowl under the bed. So then you go and have a look and you're pulling out 4 plates, 2 bowls, 6 cups, 3 pint glasses.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean. You got stuff goes under my bed, mate, and never comes out again. You see that thing I pulled out last week, the air rifle? It sounds dodgy. I've got 2 air rifles under my bed. And I showed you the box and it had about an inch worth of dust on it.
Do you know, and that's what I need to speak to you about, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'll bring them with us.
You know the amount of pheasants and rabbits we get in our yard at work. And I said to the boss, I said, if I can I like bring my air rifle in to shoot in the yard, like he was like, yeah, as long as you are in the yard.
Yeah, it says on the box for like I'm not really big up on me guns or anything, but it just says like vermin. But I could imagine they would knock a rabbit out like.
Oh yeah, easy.
It's just being able to use them anywhere though, Dave. You know what I mean? You can't really. Remember one day I went over the golf club like with it in a bag, a proper bag, but I still felt like because he had me camouflage gear and all that. I thought, what must that fucking look like here? Round moat. Yeah, it's good if you've got a little bit of land or some farmer will let you on his land. You could spend all day there, but.
I can't remember that day I was on that live and I was out walking the dog on the fields.
Yeah.
That's literally 5 minutes from me. That all them open fields is 5 minutes away, where we get all the deer and all that.
Yeah.
Did it kill a deer?
Oh, would hurt it like. I wouldn't like to get hit by one of them. Put it that way. But I've got all the targets and everything. We bought targets like. But it's just having somewhere to put them as well. You know what I mean? But they're good fun, but not the type of thing you use every day. You know, like I haven't used them for about a year.
It's good if just didn't your son get into it then, or?
It was one of them, Dave. We got one each, and we used them for about a week, and then he got fed up, and then I was putting like the bullseye things like with all the targets with like which was about the size of a football. I was putting it on the garage door and I was going to the end of the drive, you know, but people walking past and that and I was stopping and watching us. Must have looked like a right freak, honest.
Did you have your camo gear on?
No, I don't think I did, no. I've been going to go over the golf course, but it's just too cold, man.
or you'd have the old bill turning up.
I know, yeah. Well, that's what I thought of the golf course. You can't be walking about with a rifle, can you? And like camouflage gear on.
You need to be in some woods or some private land, don't you? Really.
But I'll bring them down and we'll go out.
How long are you down for today?
We stayed in the night, yeah. Like I say, we're not sure where it is. I thought Louise had known, but she doesn't yet. But it's definitely in. Did she say March or April? Was it?
April.
Mm.
As I said, my daughter used to do. Is it like cheer dance?
It's to do with the school. It's to do with the school, so I don't know what she does at the school.
Right. There's a big possibility, you know, it could be held at the school that's right next door to me, where my two oldest go.
Yeah. Is Lincoln? How big's Lincoln anyway?
Not that big, mate. You can drive from one end to the other in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Evening PTC.
I did go once, but I can't remember it. Like I was in the Weatherspoons. I took a car down to a branch where Louise works.
Yes, man. Show your shit house. How are you?
Yeah, Mencho's getting about, isn't he? Big up Mencho.
Yeah, it disappears.
Taking him in the quiz today, like.
He always chucks comments my way because he knows I bite.
You know what? I think Mencho is responsible, right, for, and it's not a bad thing, for running Ash McGiffin off YouTube. I remember, because I've never seen anyone fight to Joe Mencho like Ash McGiffin did. He used to absolutely go mental when he come in his chat. Anything he said. And he started blocking him, and that's what started his downfall, to be honest. Too touchy, because he's gone now, him, hasn't he, Ash McGiffin?
Yeah, well, I think his downfall, mate, was fucking when it come out that Ash Dreams landed in 50 quid, don't you?
Oh, yeah. What that about?
Who knows?
Yeah. Because he was on all the time, wasn't he? Started off on Pablo's, didn't he? And then he started his own, and he used to do decent lives and that, but yeah, Mencho finished him off, man.
Is he still part of the 3D, or I don't know?
I don't think so. I mean, he was only a fall guy for them anyway, wasn't he? How he put up with that? They just piled everything on him, didn't they? And he just took it all, man.
You know, he cracks me up. You know, some of his one-liners that Mencho comes out with. You've got to laugh.
Oh, there was one the other night on Expos, man. I couldn't believe it. I can't remember it now, but everyone was like, fucking hell, Mencho. Funny, like.
So, I will never fucking forget that. You know, that first time he come on and he had them fucking new teeth. I was in stitches.
Yeah.
He's having him redone.
I think Pablo's supposed to be on tonight, isn't he? Seen a little 8:30, I think he said. So I wouldn't put money on it, like. Hey, what about Venice? What about Venice jumping on rack pulls? What's the beef with them now?
I don't know, you know. Well, Ratpool was fucking giving him loads of shit when he had his when he was doing that charity stuff for his daughter. Can you remember he started that charity, didn't he, Venice?
Yeah.
Ratpool was saying it was all a fucking con and he was pocketing the money and.
Oh, this is recent, Dave. This is like over the last week. All Rackpool's videos about Venice, or then Venice jumped on his live apparently yesterday or the day before.
Mate, I fucking see some fucking mad post that he put up the other day saying, please somebody help. And there was like a video with some traveller saying that he was going to fucking shoot people and that.
Is he?
But then it got took down within like 10 minutes.
No. I didn't see that. I don't watch Rackpool much now, like, after that Titchy thing, finished him off, I think, didn't it?
It went downhill pretty quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, but Venice is still watching, you know, because did you see him? Did we all see Armchair Arthur's first live the other night, Saturday night?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good that, like, what it was in that chat. It popped up in that chat, so watching, still watching.
He'll do well, he will, you know, Arthur.
Oh no, yeah, I liked him from day one. Like just the effort. I'd love to see like his setup there. He must have a little room in his house, must he? Because it's not just a fake background, that is it. I think it's all like he's got all the kit there, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, he had that period where he went on for a while, didn't he? And in that time, he was moving house. That's why he was off for so long. And he said that this new gaff, he's got his own little studio and that.
Someone's asking there, Dave. Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, mate. That's when I jumped on there. I was going to say because I know you've got to find out a lot harder, aren't you? Than
No, I've cut right down though.
Have you?
Yeah, probably smoke half of what I was.
What, so have you got times through the day when you have one now then, and times when you've cut it out?
Just at night time now, mate. When I get home after work, probably have to. Right, that's it.
What, you don't have one through the day now?
No.
Oh, nice one, bro.
I feel a lot better for it, as well, mate. Believe me, I do.
Well, it amazes me how people like get up in the morning and have the first joint and that, man. I swear down, I'd be no good, mate. I just wouldn't be able to do anything.
Do you know, I was getting up, I was having a joint when I got up, walking the dog. Then I was having another one on the way to work. I was having one on my 10 o'clock break, my 12 o'clock break, my 3 o'clock break, one on the way home. And then some at night. I'm thinking, what the? I had to stop.
Yeah, I mean, it's money as well, isn't it, mate?
Yeah. I bet your sleep's all messed up in it, IX. Give it a couple of days, mate. Your sleep will be all over. You won't be able to eat. Cheers, Nicky.
All right, Nicky. I hope you're all right there, Nicky. Not saying much of you lately. I think are you a grandmother yet, Nicky? Sure, that was coming up. Yeah, Dave. Like as for smoking fags and that, like you hear people back in the day used to say that they started smoking when they were like 11, 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
Are they still doing that now? And like, how do they even afford it? You know what I mean?
Mate.
How can an 11-year-old afford 10 fags even or 20 fags?
We keep finding our daughter with these vapes, mate. She's only 13. It's driving me fucking crazy.
Oh yeah, they that's the problem, isn't it? Too easy to get hold of, aren't they?
She's sneaky as well, yeah. She's been. We've noticed that like loads of chargers have been going missing out the house. Do you know, like Android chargers?
Oh yeah.
And no, it's not me. It's not me. Do you know what the sneaky card's been doing? She's been taking the end off that connects into your phone or your tablet and using them wires to charge these vapes. And she took the back out of one of the drawers, and that's how she was charging it, inside a drawer on top of clothes. Being really sneaky about it. Yes, Joe, that was about 7 years ago now.
Mention what he didn't tell you is just the next shot after that pause, he got decked. Got counted out, didn't you, Dave?
No. I drew that fight.
Did you?
I gave him a fucking standing 8 count in the second. So that means the ref must have had me losing the first and the third. It was only 3 2-minute rounds.
What do you reckon about thingy Tommy Fury fighting? Is it Jake Paul he's fighting? I always get them mixed up, mate.
It's just money, mate, isn't it? He's been offered 2.5 million, hasn't he?
But he's that's all he's got to gain out of it. And if he gets beat, what's he got to do if he gets beat?
He's finished.
This isn't worth it, you know what I mean? He hasn't fought anyone anyway, has he yet?
No.
Have you watched his fights? He's only had about 8 fights, has he?
Yeah, I think he can punch a bit, can't he? But he's too flat-footed for me. He's just like a lump. Do you know what I mean? Just comes forward like expecting to throw bombs, and it'll be a good fight. I think it'll be a good fight because, like Jake Paul or not, he's got a bit of skill, mate. He's got a bit of skill.
Do you think? There's actually he is a bit of definitely wants to knock him out and put a show on, or more just for the crowd and that, you know?
I think Jake Paul will want to go out there and knock him out, mate, as soon as. Really do, just to prove a point. Do you know what I mean? Because you think if he goes in there and knocks Fury out in the first few rounds, mate, what kind of a statement's that going to make?
Golly. He's got nothing to lose, does he? Jake Paul's got nothing to lose.
Mencho knows his fucking boxing and that lot. Even he said that Tommy Fumbles is getting ironed.
No, is there much weight difference in it? Because he looks a lot bigger, Jake Paul, isn't he?
I'm not sure, you know. He does look a lot bigger. He's a lot musclier, isn't he? Definitely.
Yeah.
I've seen that. You've seen it when Jake Paul's doing that interview and Tyson Fury walks in and walks straight up to him.
No, I haven't seen any of it, mate.
Yeah, you ought to look at that. It's quite funny. His face when he walks in, it's like shit.
Well, there's a few weeks left yet, so they'll be over everything in the next few weeks, won't they? Pay-per-view is a pay-per-view.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah.
Can you remember the thingy, the first one when was it Tyson? Who did Tyson fight when he come back from that? I can't remember his name now. It was one of the first shows that they put on with the exhibition fights. Tyson won it, and I can't remember who he fought now. But did you see the whole show that they put on? Snoop Dogg was on and all that, and they were all smoking splits around the ring and that, you know. Did you see it?
Nice one, Sparky, mate. God bless you and yours, mate. Appreciate you popping in, buddy.
Yeah, it was absolutely mad. They had all the rappers on and all that, you know. It was like they put the show on, and I think Sky were back in the studio in England, and they were just they couldn't believe what was going on. You know what I mean?
Sorry, Fly. I was just reading that. Then I'll sort it out after, Daz. I can't do it right now, mate. I'll do it after in the comments. I think I made IX a mod as well tonight. Got Phil Graham as a mod. He don't even come in here anymore. Don't even speak to me anymore. I don't know how to take him off though.
What's that? Tommy said he'd fight him for free. You know, go to charity. Is that right? He doesn't need the money, does he? You know what I mean? I think his wife's worth more than him, isn't she? Or his girl there, Molly May's worth more than him.
They're having a baby, aren't they? You heard what she's calling it?
Oh, God, what?
Bambi.
Never.
I swear to God, mate, they're calling it Bambi.
No way. I didn't even know she was pregnant.
I think she's had it, hasn't she?
I'm not sure. I just heard it yesterday, I think it was. Fucking Bambi. She's had it, yeah. But, yeah, she's had it already, look.
Oh, have they had it? Jesus Christ, shows you how much I know. What is that, a boy? It's a girl, obviously, is it?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. You never know these days, man.
Usyk, I reckon Usyk's got a chance. I know people say otherwise. When you back flight work?
Saturday night.
Back on nights?
Yeah.
What do you prefer?
I'm thinking that I definitely I'm going to look for another job. Like, just sick of it. Night shifts. Fucks you up, man. Night shifts. So,
as I
know
said,
you're on about diabetes, Dave. Well, my mate, he's been in a few of my last lives. Bazza, you know, he's my boss at work. He's got diabetes. And it plays havoc with him. Like, he's always like ill on night shift, you know, and he's got one of these things in his arm, you know, where you check with your phone to see what level. He's doing that every few hours. That he's always like has to go for something to eat, and he's always feeling like faint and shit. It's his doctor told him he can't be doing night shift, so he's gonna have to wrap in, I think.
Carcinogenic. What does that mean? Fucking hell.
Carcinogenics, cancerous, I think, David.
I don't know whether I'm more surprised at that such a long word coming out of Mencho, or the fact that I don't understand what it means.
I think it's cancerous.
Oh yeah, yeah, it will be. Yeah, by the looks of that. You know, as if I didn't know what that meant.
The record men show that it knocks years off your life as well. Night shift. Now I've done them all my life.
I don't know how you've managed to put up with it for all them years, mate.
I know, yeah. I know. Well, it doesn't bother you, Dave, when you're younger. It doesn't bother you, but when you get my age now, mate, you've got to start thinking about it.
Of course you have, mate. Yeah, exactly that. I was thinking about it the other day with the smoking and stuff like that, mate. And the better my health is, the longer I'm going to live, the more time I get to spend with my kids, mate, and my wife. Do you know what I mean? It's as simple as that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stress levels, what Mencho said.
Yeah, it is. It's everything, man. I mean, all the people who I work with, they're all there's half a dozen of them are older than me. They're all walking about like cripples, and I'm thinking I'm not going to be like that.
You're right, guys.
Yes.
Right,
I've come to tell you a story.
Okay.
Now, will you believe my story or not? This is the question.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready? So in 2000 and 2002, somewhere in 2002, I couldn't tell you the month, but I was 30. I was 30, 34, 35, 36. I can't do the math, right? So I decided that I was going to run away for the first time in my life. I left my job, and I decided to pack up my camper van and literally run away. Okay, so I headed down south because I didn't really know down south very well. And I had enough money, don't get me wrong. I was 36, I had plenty in the bank. And I just decided to cruise along the south coast of England from Devon, Weymouth, all the way along Portsmouth, all the way along. And anyway, I thought, I'm getting bored now. I was away about 4 weeks by then, and I was getting a bit bored. So I decided that I was going to come inland a bit. And I was running out of weed. If the truth was known, I was running out of weed. And Reading Festival was on. So I thought, cool, I'll head to Reading and I will get some weed there, obviously. So I stood outside reasonably where the queues were, got some weed and headed on out of Reading while the festival was on. Didn't know where I was going. Saw a signpost saying, want to pick apples, £30 a day. I thought, fucking nice one. Pull in there, speak to the owners. Can I pull my van on? Don't need any lodgings. And they went, yep, nice one, great. and I picked apples and pears and plums and whatever the season was for about 4 weeks, 5 weeks. I then said, right, yeah, I'm on my merry way now. Had enough of that one. Hard work, but lovely in the sun. Travelled on a bit. Got around to looking at a map, and I thought, oh, there's a good pull in. I'll pull in there and I'll rest up a couple of days because I need to get my head together. Bear in mind, I've run away. So I've got problems at home and I'm trying to deal with them as well. So I pull into this campsite. And a guy comes to the thing and he says, and I said, oh, I'm just looking for somewhere to pull on, just to get my head together for a couple of days. And then I'm looking for a bit of work in the area. And he went, oh, he said, you obviously drive. He said, no problem. Pull on my site. He said, my missus can't get behind the car because she's 8 months pregnant and she needs somebody to drive around for a few days. Do you fancy the work? Well, now we're talking the accent that it was. Do you fancy a little bit of work, Dora? And I was like, yeah, of course I will. Pulled on this site. Bear in mind, I'm only 36. Pulls on this site, pulls up, and this bunch of women, after about an hour, come towards me. And I think, fuck me, I'm on a fucking traveller site. Fuck my cotton fucking socks. I'm on a fucking traveller site. And I'm like, my arse was twitching, everything was twitching. These 3 or 4 women came towards me. Oh, hello. And I was like, all right. Bearing in mind, I come from an area, Morecambe, Lancaster, very heavily populated with travellers, knew my gig. And I was like, yeah. Look at my van, yeah. Absolutely spotless, as my van was when you live in a small space. They was like, oh, yeah, I see. I say, oh, great. Anyway, I lived with them for about 6 weeks. I was hooked up to this yard, drove the woman round. She had the baby. We were driving around all sorts of places, right up to Liverpool. I learned a few things. I learned how to swap number plates, and I learned how to steal. And I'm not proud of it, but that's where I was living. I sort of knew the community I was living in, and I thoroughly, it's one of the best times of my life, right? So, cut that. I say one night to the girl, the husband who brought me on the site, I say, I'm going. And I say, one day I'll be back, And she said, no, you'll never come back. And I said, I will come back one day I'll come back. And I left. So we're talking 2000 and back end of 2003 now. So I've been there about 6 weeks. Many moons later, I tried to Google this place. All I had was the road I went on from Oxford, from Reading to Oxford. And then I sort of judged where I was, and I sort of pinned a point where I was. And it turns out I was on the Joyce's site in Oxford, Red Hill, Berry, whatever it's called, can't remember. But I was actually on the Joyce's site. And at that time, they got done for a little bit of slavery. And I actually knew the guy because they were living in 3 caravans opposite me. Anyway, turns out I tried to get in touch then. Couldn't really find any way of getting in touch with them. Fast forward to fucking YouTube, right? And there's Joe, what's the young lad that's doing the boxing things now with the Joyces? The little fella.
Dougie's cousin.
No. The Oxford Joyces. He's doing a little podcast now, isn't he, since that Decker fight? The big lad that does is it?
There's Paul in there. Paul's the big lad.
Paul's brother, the younger one, he started up. Is it Jojo? A little Jojo? I don't know.
Yeah, I think
it's not
is
that
Joe,
level of Joyce's. But yeah, I lived on that site, and I tried to get in touch with him one day and say, look, I actually babysat you guys. Will you please ask your mum, because I promised her one day I'd come back and I'd find her. And fuck me, how random is this? And he, do you remember that guy who got the one with the beard who got bothered with motorsports and buggy? That commentator for the 3D.
Oh yeah,
It was
fighting
on his
talk.
live, and he said, "Oh, fuck off, you stupid old lady. You know, fuck all. And don't be claiming clout off the Joyces." But I wasn't. I was trying to say, please tell your mum that it's me. So do you believe my story?
And do you reckon she'd remember you then? Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Absolutely.
How long ago was this, Nicky? How long ago?
2000 and I couldn't guarantee whether it was 2003 or 2000. I came up. Oh,
20 years ago, yeah.
it'd be 2003 when I went. Yeah, about 2003. So, do you believe my story or not?
Well, I believe you. Got no reason not to believe you. So when did you jump on fighting talk? Like this recently, like?
A couple of months ago, and I can't remember the lad who's got the small channel. One of the Joyces from there, and he's one of the kids of the parents, Tim, and I'm shit with names. I'm sorry, I'm just absolutely shit with names. But it was his mum and dad that I was in their yard, and I looked after all 4 children and drove for the mum who was having the 5th child, who I now believe is quite poorly with some sort of cystic fibrosis sort of cancer thing. And I'd love to make the contact, but it's very difficult. So I said to him, please, I said, I really did live on your site for 8 weeks. I don't know, 6, 8, 10 weeks. I can't remember. A long time, or it was a long time in my world. And I was like, and he was like, and matey boy was like, oh, fuck off. You stupid. Because he knew a little bit about me. And he was like, oh, fuck off, you stupid old woman. And I was like, I'm really not a stupid old woman. I really did live with the Joyces. I didn't know at the time that I lived with the Joyces, but I did.
So you remember Paul? Do you? Was Paul there at the time? The big fella.
Yeah.
He's some size, him, like, and
He was big then, and then I just remember 5 kids, and she was pregnant, and we were going around looking for confirmation outfits for the youngest that had already there, because there was a baby in arms already in the world, and she was pregnant again, and we were just going round, and she couldn't fit behind the wheel because she was that heavily pregnant to go and get all the bloody outfits and get all the family ready. So we were literally all over the country. I was driving all over the country. From Oxford.
So what you're saying, you just want to meet up, like, you just like have a chat or whatever, or do you really want to get friendly with them all?
I'd just like to say that I never stopped looking. It's one of them things. I said I'd come back, and she said, no, you won't. And I said, yeah, I will. I make you that promise that one day I'll come back. And I've never really known where to go back to, because I didn't really know where I was. I was on the run. I wasn't on the run from anything. I was on the run from life.
You're miles away from Oxford now, though, aren't you?
But that's where I ended up.
Nice one, Nicky.
So there you go. There's my story. So I'm.
You did well there, like. Not many channels you'll be able to come on and tell that story without an interruption, is there?
Not many, no. But yeah, there you go. And it really was that story. And I'd just like to say, I am Maggie. I didn't ever forget. And that's what, 22 years ago. The kids are all grown up. They were all, I think the eldest was about 15, 16. So that might have been Paul. I can remember where I was on the campsite. I can remember what was opposite me in that yard, because they have different yards. I can remember the whole family, wants to see photographs of them. And it's like mad.
And they're all on Facebook, like? You get loads of them on Facebook, surely. That would be the first place to start, like, but there's that many of them, though.
Honestly, I've done it all, and maybe they don't remember, but she would remember, I think. She would remember. He would remember. He was the one who let me bloody in. But anyway, there you go. There's my story. And anyway, I've got to go because my carer's going to walk in any minute. Not my carers, guys. It's all right. I don't need the care. It's my mum's carers that are coming in.
Nice one, Nicky. Nice
There you
one.
go. Ciao, ciao. Cheers, Dave.
See you later.
Take
Ciao,
care. Bye-bye.
She hasn't been on for a while, Nicky, has she? I've seen her pop up in a few chats over the last few days, like, but
I think she was the first person to message on the live, mate. Comment on the live.
oh, she was, yeah. Louise said, yeah.
She don't really go in much now, but she's hit the like.
Mm.
I don't mind Nikki, mate. A lot of people don't like her. I don't.
Yeah.
She's never done nothing wrong to me, mate. So why should I dislike her?
Well, Mencho's in the chat, Dave, right? And he's in a good mood. What Mencho, what do you think about protein drinks? Are protein drinks any good or not? In general, have you ever took protein drinks, Dave?
When I was training.
Yeah, because I had a kidney stone and I got told by a consultant that protein drinks are the worst thing in the world for kidney stones.
I had gallstones.
Because people just...
Worst pain ever.
Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it?
I was in tears many times over.
Yeah.
I went to the walking centre. They just sent me home, mate. Take these tablets, you'll be alright.
Yeah, did the same with me with kidney stones. Sent us home and to wait till the pain starts again.
Yeah, well, I went up to the chemist one morning to get my methadone and fucking just collapsed on the floor. Started spewing up everywhere. And that's how they rushed me into hospital. Took my gallbladder out.
Crazy. You know, I ask all the best questions, Jim. What's Jim doing anyway, coming into chats?
Yes, Jim.
Jim's got the energy to type, has he? Normally he just sits there with his feet up on the puffy, with his glass of whiskey.
Mystical, you alright? Big love to the 17 in. Big respect to all of you.
Too much calcium will give you kidney stones.
Yes, Slim. Top mod.
Yeah. I changed my avatar, you know, on YouTube today, Dave, but it's still my old one here.
I like that background you had on your live earlier.
Yeah, they were only off Google, them, you know. Like, Tim Smith sent me some, like, ages ago, about a year ago, like the ones that I use. And I just looked on Google and there was loads of them. But some of them said you had to buy them. You had to buy, like, you had to pay for them or something.
Who the fuck's that?
It's only Jim? £2.
Is that Jim? It's just got a picture of a melon. There's no name. It's just a picture of a melon on the bottom. Somebody saying,
you know what he's like, man. You know how random he is. He's probably done it by accident when he's been drunk. Is this it?
No, it's a lemon. It's not a melon.
I thought I was seeing things then.
Yeah. It's a picture of a lemon.
What's the significance of that then?
It was to join Daryl's chat the other night. I thought I'd go on as a lemon. I don't know whether there's a significance in there. Is there a significance in it?
There will be a significance.
That is Jim.
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to get emojis on this new phone, and It didn't give me much of a selection. I thought, fuck it. A lemon will do. It's as good as any other fruit, I suppose.
You know what, Jim? You do shock me regularly, right? I'm not going to lie, right? You shock me regularly, but the other day you took it to another level, right? When I found
Yeah.
out that you watched Daily Duppy. Do you actually
Yeah.
watch that? You shared a song, didn't you? And it was off Daily Duppy, which is
Yeah,
some of my sub watches.
I get me notifications every morning. The Daily
Seriously.
Duppy. Yeah, been watching Daily Duppy since it started.
That's
Okay,
driving music.
Jesus Christ,
I
man.
don't know
You gotta
what that
get
is,
all.
don't you?
Daily Duppy, that's with the is it the rappers?
Yeah,
It's
everyone
an
wants to be on the
18.
Daily Duppy. When you make the Daily
Everybody.
Duppy,
Yeah, so there might be a hint in there. There might be a little hint. The way he says everyone wants to be on it, has everyone not been on it?
there you go. See, I
There
knew
you
it couldn't be.
go.
I knew it couldn't be just that you watch Daily Duppy. You know, there has to be something else in it.
I put a hint out today of my new car that I bought, and I got told to take it down.
Someone reported you.
But
Rolls Royce.
no, the dealership.
All right.
Mm.
What? What? Just a
And
picture of you have the name in the back or something like?
it had
Yeah,
the dealership
Rolls
name.
Royce.
It had the dealership name on the number plates.
Yeah, I
Right.
don't, if I worked at Rolls Royce, Jim, I don't think I'd let you film in there either, mate. To be honest.
Well, they were quite strict. They said if I don't take it down, they'll refuse to sell me it. The final sale hasn't gone through yet.
So how come you got a new motor like Jim?
But this is me
Because he
work motor,
can.
isn't it?
Because he can.
Me work motor. Summer's coming, and we want something where we can just go and relax and
What
video
have you got? What is it
sunset.
then?
I can't. I'll
It's a
show you that when I'll show you that on Monday when I've got it. I'm not going to jeopardise this because it's a prestige car. It's a very old model, but it's classically done.
Is it a midlife crisis car?
It's just instead of giving all my money to Steve Farden, I decided to buy a nice fucking motor and let the cunt fucking rot on his mouth every day for 4 weeks. Someone's been telling me he's talking about it, and they just sent me a fucking another clip. He's removed it. Where guess what happens? Remember when I said I'm not going to speak about him again, ever again? But I said, look, every 8 months he does the same thing. House owners will refuse to pay him. He'll have no money. He's going to kill the dogs. He's going to come over to England and mass murder everyone. He's going to do things that. Guess what he's crying for today? Now I've got no money, and the house owners said they give me money yesterday, and then he blames me. What the fuck? I haven't spoken about that guy. The only time his name was mentioned on a panel was Daryl mentions him a couple of days ago, and I was quite honest on them in front of 150 people. I says I don't want to talk about him. I've got no interest in him. I know what he wants. He wants a reaction video, but I'm not going to give him it. I'm just going to keep showing him lovely pictures of my nice motor.
What does he want a reaction video for, Jim? What's he want to prove there, like?
Well, I think he's exhausted everyone who comes into his chat now. They've all given him the odd 10 or 20. So he needs new people going in, mate. You could have 600 subs, but if you've only got 18 of them who are actually commenting, them 18 people soon realise, hang on, I can't afford to keep my family and you. Go and get a job.
Yep.
Go. No, we love your lifestyle. It is paradise, but to be there, you've got to be able to afford it. And let's be honest, he hasn't built his fruit forest yet, has he? Or his vineyards or his fucking community. And that's not my fault. I don't know why he keeps blaming me. It just gets exhausting, but the fact that I can't even be bothered.
Where's all this big tuna he was going to be catching when he had this fishing license?
He calls a bubble fish or a blower fish.
And then thought, fuck that, that's not going to be profitable.
Well, it's funny because I'm going fishing on Saturday. I'll show him how to fish. No, seriously, I'm just going to the shore in shitty England where it'll probably be raining. And I'll do a little video. I'm going to go for a couple of hours. So
It's weird, Jim, because over the last few weeks, Tim Draycott, who I know nothing about Tim apart from what I've seen on the Steve Farden thing, but he's been leaving a few comments on some videos of that, and he was in the chat today in that quiz I did today. And he
Tim's
left a comment.
Do you know what? I'd never known Tim. I'd never heard of him. Obviously, I heard about the fact he was going over, and I just had no comment to say about that because it's not for him. It's a grown up man. People going to meet people on YouTube is always going to be dangerous and dodgy, isn't it? But there's one thing I have in his videos, his travel videos are fucking excellent.
Yeah, they are.
He just needs a little bit more focus on them. No, like, this is the town I'm in now. This is, if you're coming to stay here, I would recommend this. Because his videos are actually quality. They're well recorded. He's actually got quite a good voice for videos as well, know what I mean? A little bit of humour.
Isn't he a wonder chef as well, Jim, with a Breville toaster or something?
I'll leave his food for the people who go camping. Right. I want to go to a cafe if I'm going somewhere. I don't want to use a Breville, a toaster to make a roast dinner.
Where's bad and he does all his cooking in one of them Breville toaster things.
Yeah, but it's great content though, isn't it? It's different, isn't it? It's somebody who's travelling around. I just find it entertaining. I do. It's a bit like
he's living his life, isn't he? He's living his good life.
He is. It's a bit like yours, Dave. Your lives and VTs are really good. Moon's lives they're excellent. And no, Daddles, it's open discussion. Not really. They don't sit there slagging people off. It's the nice lives to go into. And I don't know why people want to stay in this nasty fucking mood about killing other people. Move on.
Well, apparently the two big guns are going to be out for a little while, and they're like, there's a big gap there now, in there on the night.
Yeah, the gap's there. I thought Archie and Shuffling probably would have been the ones, but it looks like Julian's definitely going to capture one of them spots, and the other one's got to be Daryl. No, let's be honest. It's open, and they're the ones who can easily pull in 100, 200 people.
Yeah.
No, and I think a clip has just put something up about Julian's before, and it seems to be moving away from a bit of the non-stop aggro against other people. So no, if that's the kind of content that's going to come out, people enjoy it.
And you know what? It's like, I know it was bad, the Andrew J thing and that, but it has drummed up a lot of people, hasn't it? For like Tim Smith and that, it's put everyone on like a platform, you know. It's give Tim Smith a platform.
Look at that, look. You mentioned his name, he pops up in the chat, look.
Yeah, he is. Tim will always be Tim as well. You don't have to worry about Tim, man. Tim will be all right.
Was it Tim's live last night? 164, I think I seen in there at one stage. It might have been even more.
Yeah, I mean, let's not get it wrong. Tim was ready to pack all this in a couple of weeks ago. You know what I mean? And he's soldiered on in that.
Look, Tim's done a nice thing by helping someone out in distress who was really panicking. And look, it hasn't backfired. It went a bit shitty for the person. For Andrew, let's be honest. But no, and from this, Andrew might get the help he fucking needs.
I hope he does, Jim.
I think he will do, mate, because I think he'll sit back at some stage, either yesterday or today, and review or look at what he's... No, I hope he does get the help, because he deserves the fucking help. Problem with Andrew, he's addicted to YouTube. That's the problem. He needs to stay off YouTube and concentrate on his rehab.
Yeah.
But as for Tim, look, Tim gained massive amounts of respect, and a lot of people. What he wants to embrace that because he does some good stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
This is the perfect time for him. No, he's talking about a few weeks ago. No, stepping out and there's quiz night. His quiz nights are unbelievable because. It's like watching university. Can't be bothered. No, this quiz nights are good. But, no, do the bit, what he says, get out and do the ghost hunting bit and all of that. Brilliant time of year to do stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, he's done the right thing, just getting straight back on it, hasn't he? Straight back into it. That.
Yeah.
Well, he's a nice
like
man. He's a nice man as well, Tim, isn't he? No, he's very calm and he's just a normal bloke. You know what I mean? And I think it'll do him good. I hope he doesn't pack in.
I'm on holiday in July, 20 minutes away from Tim.
Go and see him.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, 100%.
Go and
We've already said we're going to meet
Don't
up. He's
stay
gonna
and
take
do
me-
a live.
I don't know, right?
Stone.
Because right, because we were all watching, right? We were all looking in on what was happening, right? I don't think Tim realised what it actually looked like, you know, looking in. On the night when Andrew had that glass of whatever it was in a wine glass, and he was swilling it about, wasn't he, Jim? And it was going all over the place, and like
Yeah,
Tim
the night
Warner-
before on Darrell's, it was like, I mean, I thought it's that Andrew J in Tim's house. And then I realised it was, and I thought, fucking. And then obviously but I didn't know the full story of what had gone on. But then you seen it as it went on throughout the night. You just thought, well, and then obviously I got up for work and heard them arguing, and I thought this is not going to be good. This,
Mm.
and I didn't want to comment. I didn't really want to comment at all. No, I mean,
I didn't, Jim, and for that reason, I felt uncomfortable, like, because I'm not saying I could see what was going to happen the day after, but it was like quite funny at the time. Even Tim was getting in on it, like on the first night he got there, but you could just see what was going to happen. You know what I mean?
well, I think a lot of the older and mature people who were watching realised it. No, it wasn't nice, but it wasn't the time to be slagging everyone off and shouting at everyone, because I felt sorry for the parent. I literally did. No, because no, Andrew J, where he doesn't know what he's doing, mate. He's an alcoholic that's past the stage of look. And I don't think he knows what he's doing. I literally don't.
It's like what got me, and Tim's there now, but what got me, Jim, I might have mentioned it to you on the phone anyway, that like when he left Tim's house that morning, what did he have with him? He was going out wherever, must have had his laptop. So he's walking around Newport with a laptop, pissed up, a phone and whatever, bank card and whatever. And I was like, where the hell's he going with it? Like, he must have had a bag or something.
And the likelihood is he might have lost all of that, because you just don't know, do you? But look here.
Well, do you know what we're going to do? We're going to have one final on the Andrew thing, and then we're going to leave it.
Yeah, sorry, Dave.
Sorry, David.
No worries, Jim, at all. But I think it's only fair on Tim. Do you know what I mean? If he's going to fucking forget about it, it's not
yeah, it is.
bringing it up. I don't mind speaking
It's
about
like
it.
the positive side, try and see the positive side of it. Like, well,
I wish Andrew the best. He needs to sort himself out, and I'm hoping that looking back,
I think this is the way it will happen now. I think this is the eye opener. But
yeah,
what it does also tell everyone is you don't know that person on YouTube from YouTube in real life.
Exactly.
You've got to be very, very, very careful, and just it goes and backfires you. Even giving someone a couple of quid, it comes back and backfires. It can bite you on the ass. And look at me, I would never have give Farden that money if I knew the shit ever since I would have got. And it's not from people, it's from him. Yeah. Just because I refuse to give him any more, and it's just scandalous. It's scandalous. So be careful, anyone in the community. Just don't. Fucking hell.
It's like I said, you can become on here and pretend to be somebody you're not, but the truth always comes out in the end.
It does, yeah. Without a doubt.
Always comes out. When I first started watching Steve, and he was in his dinghy out on the sea listening to his music, I used to actually enjoy watching him, And because he's quite, he's quite knowledgeable in the way he speaks, isn't he? He sounds like a well-spoken guy. And
he's read up. When I say read up, he's spent a lot of time studying stuff. He actually can make some really decent content, but he thinks by getting controversy is the way to go, because controversy pulls in all the people.
Exactly that. Yeah.
The only way to do that is not feed the fire, and that's what. he won't get no lives or responses out of me because I'll let him just. And I'm not sub to him. I don't watch him, which is good.
The thing is, though, as well, what you got to remember, he is doing a video diary, isn't he, of his life? So he sort of knows what he's doing. He's. I mean, how he's going to edit it, I don't know. He must have thousands of hours of shit that's gone on, and I don't know. I don't know what he plans to do with it all, but
he obviously can't sustain the lifestyle he's living at the moment. It's not good for him and his health, and he doesn't seem to be moving on.
No.
He's not building his farm. He might have water because it rained. Okay,
Yeah.
let's be honest. The reason your tank's full of water is because it rained, mate.
yeah.
He smoked that much weed, it just made him delusional.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's just. I don't know how anyone could smoke that much weed, and
It's
when
brilliant, isn't it? Look at it. You could actually, he should make a movie, not a movie. It's like watching Trailer Park Boys.
Because you're a G-Daz.
It's fucking brilliant. Anyway, Moon,
yo,
Joe Mencho.
mm,
Joe, can you tell me, is it good for you to drink energy drinks? Why did you ask? Why out of everyone in the chat did you ask Joe Mencho?
I said protein drinks, not energy drinks.
So go on then, tell us why Joe Mencho got asked that question.
Because Joe, I've seen him in recent chats talking about diets. He was on about a diet yesterday with Slim Reaper, and I know Slim's into his fitness and that. And Joe Mencho was a boxer, I believe, and he might still train. So he was and plus, I'm getting him involved in the chat. He's in Dave's chat. He doesn't normally come in. Keeping him involved.
No, that's answered my question. Thank you very much. It's good response. I thought you were picking on him, trying to get that little bite off Joe.
Well, maybe that as well, like, you know.
He comes in, he give me a bit of shit, and then he was quite respectful after that, to be fair.
Well, PD told me. Remember PD?
Yeah.
He told me a few months ago, obviously before he moved to Belgium, that he was going to set up joint lives with Mencho, and Mencho was going to be his host, his co-host.
Oh yeah, because he tried that with Norris, didn't he? And it didn't last very long. I know.
Yeah, he wanted someone. I think he wanted someone who could continuously roast. Norris sounds at roasting, but then apologises. Norris, if you're listening, you know what I mean. He's a good lad, Norris. Where Joe doesn't give a fuck, he'll just say what he wants. Oh Jesus! Except when it comes to God. Except when it comes to God's son.
He's a regular in Darrell's now. We'll just have to get him in, see if he's any. Yeah, he's been in Darrell's last few nights. He's been not just for a bit as well. He's been stopping in and good bloke having in your chat, man. You know what I mean?
Well, Darrell's got a good. His lives are good now. He's a. I like Darrell. He gives people an opportunity to come onto his panel and speak.
I was talking to Dave only a few hours ago, and I said, Darrell's in the chat now. Darrell's my mate and everything. And I said, this week, the way Darrell's held his lives this week has been like totally different. He's been proper chilled out. And he's had loads of people. He's had PP. I mean, he had PP on for about an hour and a half last night. He had Sparky on.
I watched it last night, and
it was like, it was just I seen a different, like a different side of Darrell, and like it just reflected on his numbers. You know what I mean? The amount of people he had in that, and he just took it by the horns, had he?
Can one of the mods put some links up? Get Tim's link up. Mix. Darrell's. Put them all in.
Did you go to work today, Dave?
Yeah.
I seen your video this morning, mate. Fell for you for a bit there, know what I mean? Hope everything works out well with you, mate. And is your cousin or nephew, is it?
No, my cousin.
Cousin, sorry.
My auntie passed away. You know, not last weekend, the weekend before now. We're just waiting for a funeral date.
Oh,
It's
for
fucking,
fuck.
you know, Jim, because she had cancer twice last year. No, she had it once the year before last, and then she got it again last year. She beat it both times. Got it again just before last Christmas. Was told that there was nothing they can do. Then she got an infection, and she just couldn't fight the infection. So they put her on end of life care, and then 2 days later she passed away. My cousin's always lived at home though. Do you know what I mean? He's 40 like me. He's always lived at home and worked, and so it's hit him quite hard.
So I mean, what I remember, it puts things into perspective, doesn't it? When you're having a bad day, and that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. That's why I try and stay away from all the shit on here, mate, because there's a lot more important stuff fucking going on in people's normal day lives than the crap that goes on in here, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want this channel to be like where people can just come and fucking chill out and don't have to fucking listen to the arguing and the shit in the chats, mate. There's a lot of people in here that don't go in. Some of them don't go in certain chats. Some of them do. And no
But
one's
you're still a batty though, aren't you, Dave? You do like a laugh, how we let's face it, don't you? You're the
of
biggest
course,
wind up on here, no doubt.
listen, that's how I've got through my life, mate, being the joker. I was a class clown at school. And then, yeah, I'm just a joker. But if I can make people smile, mate, then I'm fucking happy. Do you know what I mean? Even if it's making a fool out of myself.
Yeah, you don't have to try hard to do that, like, do you really?
Nah, I definitely don't with mates like you with comments like that, mate.
He's looking for some new dares, people. Anyone in the chat who's got any suggestions? Not a dare, a challenge, isn't it? Challenge.
Next challenge.
Preferably something to do that's painful or something that he has
I
to
did
put up
waxing
with.
last week, even though that waxing was a bit of a cop out because of the sides of the strips. It still fucking hurt. You know, I watched that video back, you two, yeah, and I could not believe some of the noises I made when she was pulling them strips off my neck.
Did you watch Sparky's Shack today, Dave?
Sorry?
Did you watch Sparky's Shack?
I'll see a bit of it. I tried
the two guys, one of them shaved his eyebrows off and all his hair. That older guy, Uncle, the JJ, is it? JJ, I think they call him.
Is that JJ?
Oh, it was fucking comical.
I missed that. I'm gonna go and watch that after this.
Oh, I tell you, I'm sure it's being clipped. I had to pull over in the car. I just thought, no, he's not going to do it, surely. He was talking about if he gets 100 likes or something, he'll do it. And he shaved both of his eyebrows off, and then he started shaving his head. Oh, him and the other guy look like two fucking eggs after they finished.
I'll do that on my own channel. I won't do it on somebody else's, though.
For 100 likes for Sparky. It was funny. I tell you.
Yeah, we'll think of something, Dave. There's some cruel people in this chat, mate, I'm sure.
That challenge has come up quite a lot, but I'm not too sure. I really am not.
No, I wouldn't touch them. Like
Jim, you'll know the film Cool Hand Luke, where he eats
all the eggs.
He eats 50 eggs. Yeah, I was going to do something similar to that. Yeah, and then I looked up the world record for boiled egg eating, and you would not believe 141 boiled eggs in 8 minutes. The world record is.
You are kidding me! What? How can you do? How could you do that
in 8 minutes?
You couldn't even chew them. He must have just swallowed them all.
Swallowed them.
Oh my God! Could you imagine the next few days? How much pain?
It's about what 141 eggs. That's got to be a good 10, 11, 12 pound maybe. And it'll sit in your stomach for ages. You won't pass that for ages. And all the acids will be breaking it down, and you'll have
oh no, the smell.
Oh.
So that one's off the cards then, the Cool Hand Luke challenge.
100%.
I don't blame you.
You see them eating challenge channels, you know, where you just see these people that are about 10 stone and they're eating like a table full of food in like a few minutes. And I don't know how it's possible.
Do you know what the best one is? Beard meets food.
Beard.
Smallest, skinniest guy you have ever seen, right? And he can eat. I mean, eat.
I mean, how though? How there must be something weird about them, mustn't there? As the way they are, the way the stomach's built or something, because it's not possible, is it?
No.
It did a challenge the other day that's not been done in 23 years, and he demolished it with like 12 minutes left or something. Unreal. He's got the biggest beard, and he even picks the thumbs out of his beard when he's done to make sure he's got it all.
I'm just getting out the car to get petrol, guys. Oh, God, I've got me. No, you never guess what I've just done. To drive all the way back to his site to pick up my fucking phone. 84 miles round trip.
You left your phone?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not worse than that, is there? When you can't find your phone.
Right, let me put my phone in my pocket now. I should be able to still keep the live on.
I tell you what, Jim, don't you think, is it a diesel or petrol?
Diesel.
Because diesel's coming down, isn't it? I mean, petrol today, a few garages have went past. It's down to 133, I think.
You've got to be joking. 170 odd down here. 169 is the cheapest. I think it's, how much is it at this one now? Let me have a look.
133 was the lowest one I seen today for petrol, and diesel
petrol here is 148.9 and diesel is 172.9.
Still going down though the right way, isn't it?
And it's funny, isn't it? They've only got diesel ultimate left. The other diesel's got a story out of use sticking.
Yeah.
Never mind.
That's one about 20 pence a litre more. Am I right in thinking that back in the day diesel was cheaper than petrol, was it? Or was it about?
No, diesel used to always be well cheaper in the 70s and 80s.
I can remember when I first started driving, I used to put like £3 in. Me and my mates would all chip £1 in and put £3 in, and it'd last you all night. Driving all night.
God bless.
Now
if I fill mine up, if I fill this up, it's 120 quid. And I get 500 miles for that.
Like another mortgage, man, innit? If you drive.
It's mad.
£120 a week, that's ridiculous stuff.
I fill it up twice a week, mate. Got me joking a week.
I mean, even for the company, even if the company pays for it, it's still like massive layout for a company as well, isn't it?
Oh, it's huge.
Like haulage companies, you know, like when
the companies are not too bad when I say company, because they'll only pay for expenses. I think it's 22p for a mile, or is it a mile? 22p, whatever it works out a mile.
Yeah.
What I have to do at the end of the year is you put your P60 in, because you have to claim every mile above 6,000, and you get 45p off the tax man.
Well, they're still making money out of that as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, I just taxed my car today, and it was the first time ever I've actually enjoyed taxing my car, mate, because it was £20 for 12 months.
180 quid, I think it is. Just paid it the other way. I think I told you about it.
Yeah, well, because back in the day, with the old car thing, it's one of the best things they've done, though, isn't it? Like charging you more for a big car, you know what I mean?
Did you mention say these energy drinks are okay because I'm getting 2 of them?
What, proper Red Bull? Hey, what about Big G's addicted to Red Bull? Did you know that?
Some people are, aren't they? I'm on these other things now. They're monster ones, mate.
Dangerous, that.
Yeah, Darryl asked last night what would be your favourite meal, and they started with Big G, and it was his drink would be Red Bull. Disgusting. It's that flavour that's in it, that stuff, whatever's in it, where they all taste the same. Even the cheap versions, you wouldn't know the difference. Because they all taste that horrible taste.
There's something,
You
guys. I'm
can-
going to have to
This garage is that good. You can buy a chess set and 100 classic games in a box.
The wife's just got a...
Oh, yeah, the miniature one.
Number 4, please, mate. And can I have 20 Richmond king size, please? Pardon? Yeah, give us Pall Mall then. Pall Mall.
I've got to finish this, guys, because the wife's back now with the kids.
No worries, Dave. No worries, mate.
Get the kids to bed, mate, and
No,
sort
no,
them.
king size.
Nice
Cheers.
one for jumping
Yeah,
on, Jim.
Jim.
Good to see you, mate. Fly,
Yeah,
big love as
catch you
always.
later, mate.
Yeah. Later, everyone in the chat. I'll leave you to it, Dave. I'll speak to you in a bit.
Yes, mate. Thank you, Fly. Take care,
Yeah.
mate.
See you later.
Right, nice one, guys. Thank you for coming in. Hour and 45. God bless to every single one of you. Maybe I'll see you in a chat somewhere tonight. Thanks for popping in. And take care, all. Big, big love.